So far we have discussed about the free electron theory, then band theory, right, and using band theory we have studied the semiconductor. So, basically what we have done in case of metal, so using band theory this one can explain semiconductor, right, and using free electron theory one can explain metal, right. So, actually so far what we try to find out, that is the density of states, which is nothing but the density of orbitals, where each orbital contain one electrons or carrier. So, that is why that is also equivalent to density of electrons or holes, right. So, actually in the system there are many electrons, there are many states also. So, here whatever density of states or density of electrons or holes, whatever we try to find out, that is not all electron, that is basically the electrons or holes which participate in transport, which act as a carrier of something, either carrier of electricity or carrier of thermal energy, etc. So, that is why it is better to tell that density of carriers, so carrier can be either electron or holes, because they participate in conduction, either thermal conduction or electrical conduction, but mainly we are interested for electrical conduction, right. So, electrical conductivity or conduction. So, basically today I will discuss about the electrical conduction, in metal and semiconductor. Okay. So, metal, so there we consider the electrons are free, right, electrons are free, and all electrons participate in conduction as per classical theory, but as per quantum theory all electron does not participate, only electrons which are close to the Fermi level, they participate in conduction. So, what is the density of states or density of carriers at the Fermi level, that is what, or near the Fermi level, that is what we are interested, and we found also, right. Similarly, in semiconductor, so this carrier in conduction band, they are similar to free electron, okay, and holes in a valence band, they are equivalent, they are also this as if this free carrier, okay, because this electron in conduction band and holes in valence band. So, both are near the Fermi level, because Fermi level in between this conduction band and valence band. So, these carriers will participate in conduction, in transport. Okay. So, what is the density of those carriers, that also we have found for n type, p type semiconductor. It may happen these both are there in case of intrinsic semiconductor. So, in that case these both carrier and holes, they will participate in conduction, right. So, conduction, so we use the parameter conductivity to express the degree of what I should tell, degree of conduction of carriers in the metal or in the semiconductor. So, and this just opposite is resistivity. So, already earlier I have defined this conductivity and resistivity, but just that I did after this free electron theory. But now as a whole I want to discuss this electrical conduction in metal and semiconductor. So, for this conduction generally we write sigma and the resistivity we write is rho, right. So, this so electrons in a metal or in a semiconductor, they are all the time they are moving randomly. So, their resultant velocity, net velocity along a particular direction is 0. So, to get the conduction of electron in a sample in a metal or semiconductor, we need to apply force. So, basically we apply electrical force. So, electric field we apply. So, electric field we apply on a sample, it may be metal or semiconductor, but let us consider metal first and then we will extend it to the semiconductor. So, in case of metal, so what if I apply electric field E, right. So, metal only electrons are there. So, this force will be act on this minus charge minus E. So, that is the force will act on this on the carrier, right, on the electrons. Now, due to this force, what will happen? So, this force is applied on a particle. Now, this particle will move, its velocity will increase, there will be acceleration, right. So, that is the classical concept of motion of a particle under a force. So, in this case, so this force can be written as dP by dt, change of momentum. In case of free electron, we can write P equal to basically h cross k, right. So, dP by dt equal to, I can write h cross dk by dt equal to minus E, this electrical energy, electrical field. Okay. So, so this one can take as a equation of motion of an electron in a metal, this minus E by H cross. Now, what happens if this electric field is applied? If electric field is applied, then because of this force, this electron will be in motion, and this dk by dt is basically, so P equal to mv, so this v, this velocity is basically equivalent to h cross k by m, right. So basically dv by dt equal to h cross m dk by dt, right. So change this, basically dk by dt, it is telling this, it is basically acceleration, it is equivalent to acceleration, right. dv by dt is acceleration anyway. So if I look at this equation, so it is just like dx by dt equal to, if I apply constant electric field, so it is like constant. So what does it mean? This, it is moving with constant velocity, this particle is moving with constant velocity, or this particle is changing its position, say some constant c, as it is like this, okay. It's so with time it is changing its position uniformly, okay. So without any acceleration, just uniform velocity. So in k space, if I see this in k space, so as if this is the velocity in k space, this is the velocity, and carrier is moving with uniform velocity. So it is in k space, so if it is kx, this is ky and this is kz. So one can draw a sphere. Now this from here, so I can tell that k equal to, so if I integrate, so k at time t minus k at time 0, okay, equal to minus E epsilon t by h cross. So we will get this kind of things, okay. If I at t equal to 0, just before applying electric field, so this, as if this is the center of the sphere, this is k 0, okay, at time t equal to 0. Now after time t, so it will change the, it will change this from k 0 to, it will come at another position k at t. So as if this this sphere is moving, as if this sphere is moving with time. So here it was 0, now new center is here, this is this kt position. So this at time t, this sphere moved from this position to this position. So it is new center of the sphere. So I can tell this change is say delta k. So for this time delta k, time t, it will move delta k equal to, so how much amount, this it is minus E epsilon T by H cross, right. So due to electric field, as if here this sphere in k space it is moving, and this so this movement is basically equivalent to the motion of the conduction of the electrons. So because these electrons near the Fermi sphere or enclosing the Fermi sphere, so they participate, they respond to the electric field, they participate in conduction without changing the volume of this sphere, because this volume of the sphere, as you remember, this is total volume of the sphere is the volume of the all states, volume of the all orbitals. Okay. So due to electric field, this volume of the orbitals cannot be changed. Only what can be changed, that is the electrons carriers can go from one state to another state, one orbitals to another orbitals, or it can move in in same orbital, but from one place to the another place. Okay. So now we think that this, so for time t, so the sphere is moved by this amount, right. Now for if I increase the time, so it will continue to move, right. It will continue to move, because time is 1 second, after 1 second what will happen, after 2 seconds, after 3 seconds, after 4 seconds. So it will move and move and move. Okay. So under uniform electric field, but this does not happen, what if we think this way, that just I have applied electric field for short time. So time, that time is t equal to tau. Okay. For this time I have applied this electric field E. Okay. So during this time, so this it is moved from this place to that place. Now electric field is not there, so its displacement will be delta k equal to this. So t if I replace by delta. So now for this electric field, so it will just shifted, these things shifted by this delta k. Now what will happen? Electric field is not there, so what will happen? So it will go back to its original position, but why it will go back to original position? Okay. So it will happen, it will go back to its original position because due to the collision, so collision with what, or due to the friction, it will go back. So if so, due to the friction, due to the collision, so I will discuss about the source of collision. Okay. So due to the collision, so this if electric field is there, in that case what will happen? So this it is moving, and electric this collision, this friction, because of that collision or friction, so because of this, so basically scattering of the conduction electron. So it will try to take it other side. So between these two forces, one is collision, because of that it will get friction opposite to the motion. So and another electric field will apply force in this direction, so they will balance. Okay. Then steady state will arrive, and in that steady state, so So, this sphere will move, means conduction electron will move, and because of that we will get current, right. So, what is current? Current is basically this, we express in terms of density, current density J means per unit volume. So, per carrier or passing through a per unit cross section per unit time. Okay. So, total amount of charge passing through a unit cross section per unit time. So, that is the charge density. So, if I know the velocity, so V velocity V, and this charge density is N, right. N is the density of states, density of carrier. So, multiply with charge. So, minus charge. So, I will put minus here. So, minus J equal to minus NeV, that will be the this charge density, and this. So, here, so V is important. So, this V is called generally drift velocity, and this drift velocity will get from because of the applying electric field. Before applying electric field, this net velocity is 0. After applying electric field, so this carrier will move in one direction, okay, overcoming the friction, collision, right, in steady state. Okay. So, we can get this V from here, because here this collision is considered. So, this we can consider that when at t equal to 0 we applied electric field, and then this sphere is moving, and if collision time, this t whatever I have considered. So, this t is if we tell this is the relaxation time or collision time or relaxation time, So, what is that? What does it mean? So, it means the time, this is the time between two successive collision. Okay. So, when it is moving, after this time tau, it will have collision, it will scattered. Okay. So, this the, so during that time it will move delta k, it will move by delta k. Okay. So, this delta k from here, this velocity from here one can get so this velocity is called this drift velocity, that will be h cross m, and this k. Okay. So, this we can take delta k, for this we can take delta k. So, why you are taking delta k? Because this is the motion starting from 0 up to the time for this duration before getting collision. So, it was moving this. Okay. So, during that time whatever this velocity developed in the system, that is taken as a drift velocity. So, this we have to put here delta k. Okay. So, V is basically then you are getting h cross by m, and delta k is minus, I will put here E epsilon tau by h cross, right. So, h cross will go, and this velocity I will get minus E this electric field tau by m, right. So, that will be the velocity, So, here I can write that so this minus minus will be plus, minus minus will be plus. So, here n e, here e is there. So, n square tau by m, tau by m. So, n e square tau by m. So, that will be the conduction current density, right. So, I need this. Yes. So, basically current density J equal to n square tau by m, okay. And electric field is there, so I have to write electric field. And by definition we know that this J is basically current density is proportional to electric field, and this proportionality constant equal to, it is a sigma, and sigma is called conductivity. So, from here comparing these two, you can get this sigma equal to n square tau by m. So, resistivity rho equal to n 1 by sigma equal to m n square tau, okay. So, here one thing clear that resistivity depends on m n square into 1 by tau. So, collision time, relaxation time is also very important, okay. And of course, n is there, this density of states, okay. One has to know the density of states, okay. So, this has all the time it has importance. So, mainly depends on the density of states of the metal or semiconductor, this conductivity also depends on this collision time or relaxation time, right. So, here what I want to do is that, so I want to tell you the source of the scattering, okay, collision. So, one is impurity in metal or semiconductor, or this defect, mechanical defect in metal, because here we have considered the lattice structure, sometimes this sometimes atoms are missing. So, there is the defect. So, that act as a scattering center, and when conduction electrons are going, they get scattered from this source, okay. And another is the lattice vibration, okay. So, lattice vibration, due to lattice vibration, this is the quantized term is equivalent to photon. So, here basically we tell this due to lattice vibration it gives phonon, okay. We can describe in terms of phonon. So, that is phonon carrier electron scattering. So, this is another source for this scattering, okay. So, that is why this tau is basically have two parts. One is this 1 by tau, one can write 1 by tau I for impurity plus 1 by tau phonon, that is vibration, okay. So, this is the source of these two. So, your resistivity this 1 by tau is here. So, if I multiply with n square, okay, with this one also m by n square. Okay. So, it gives basically rho whatever resistance we get, resistivity we get, that has had two contribution, one is rho I and the other is rho phonon. Okay. So, this resistivity due to the phonon and this resistivity due to the electron. Okay. So, generally this impurity, this one is independent of temperature, but this one is depends on temperature. So, that is why we write that this is a function of temperature. Okay. This is a function of temperature, but that temperature contribution mainly comes from here. So, if we draw this resistivity with temperatures, okay, resistivity with temperature. So, we get this type of curve. So, this is the basically rho I, this is the rho I here you will get because it is independent of temperature, and at T equal to 0 this part goes, okay, then whatever you get. So, this generally this we tell this part is its relation is basically proportional to temperature. Okay. So, this impurity resistivity it is called also residual resistivity, because it is all the time it is there, and depending on that impurity for same metal one can get these two curve. So, this part are just shifting because of this residual resistivity, because same metal, but impurity are higher. So, scattering is higher, resistivity is higher. Okay. So, this the conduction of electrons in a metal. So, this resistivity or conductivity is expressed this way. Now, in case of semiconductor, what will happen? In case of semiconductor, we have two types of charge carrier, right. So, electron and hole, right, hole. Okay. So, we will get the conductivity for both. So, this sigma for E electron and sigma for hole, right. And now, this formula we can use for this also, because these electrons, these carriers is basically in conduction band, they are like free. This hole in valence band who are participating in conduction, they are also like free. Okay. Only one has to consider the effective mass. Okay. So, lattice, so from band theory I have seen that this it's one has to take effective wave vector and effective mass. Okay. So, effective mass. Okay. So, that is what one has to do. So, we have to take for this semiconductor, we have to take effective mass, and same formula can be used. Okay. And then for both this it will be additive. So, total sigma will be equal to sigma E plus sigma H, right. So, this way one can get the conductivity of the metal and semiconductor, and the source of resistivity, okay, that we have discussed how it comes. It is because of mainly this collision with lattice, collision with the impurities in the system. So, for p type, so this for intrinsic case, for p type it is these dominate, these are negligible. So, it will be just sigma will be equal to sigma H and vice versa. If for n type, so sigma will be equal to only this, one can neglect this contribution of this one. Okay. So, I will stop here, then I will discuss about the effect of magnetic field on the conduction. in next class. Thank you.